everybody, Phili from Create and Curate here. Today we are going to be doing a super easy, simple sewing project. We are going to be making a gathered skirt. I've made these already for me and for two of my girls because the bigger one doesn't want to matchy with it anymore. It's really easy, takes like half an hour to whip up. It's going to be great. Okay, so the things you're going to need today are elastic. This is 1 inch elastic, 1 inch wide that is, and I bought it from Hobbycraft. I will tell you how to measure it in a minute. You're going to need some fabric. I've got 2 options. So this is from a thrifted curtain, but there's not that much of it. So I might make a mini skirt with that. Or I've got my tie-dye fabric, which was in a project where the children and I tie-dyed it ourselves. You are also going to need a tape measure. Oh, and a sewing machine. Don't forget the sewing machine. What we need to do first is to take a couple of measurements. So the first measurement that we're going to do is round our waist. Now, depending on where you normally wear your skirts will depend where you're going to measure. So I'm measuring 86 centimetres up there, but I don't really wear it there if I'm honest. So 92 centimetres, don't judge, don't care. And we are going to double that number so that we can have double the width of fabric to be able to gather up. So 92 times 2 will be worked out on my calculator. And then while you're measuring, get your elastic, whoop, whoop, wrap that around the same area that you measured, and just pull it a little bit, but not like a lot. Don't be stretching it completely out, just stretch it a bit, and then mark your waist. Move it down a little bit. Mark your waist so it's a little bit, so the tension's just enough. Whoop. And then chop that for your waistband. I'll let you know how big that is. So this one measures to about 62 centimetres. So I took about 30 centimetres off that with a bit of give with it. The point is that it rests round your waist, but it won't slip down. The other measurement that you're going to need to do is to do from your waist down to your knee or down to your calf or wherever you'd like your skirt to be. At the moment, midi skirts are really in, so that is sort of mid-calf. The fabric I've got, especially the gingham, I think I'm going to do like a bit more of a mini skirt just because it's got a bit of a nicer look, I think. So I have measured down to where I'd like it to fall, and that's about 50 centimetres. So I'm going to add 2.5 centimetres onto the bottom for the hem, and then I'm going to add 5 centimetres on the top for the waistband. So that's enough for the waistband to turn over and over again. It will make sense when we get to the sewing machine, I promise you. 5 centimetres added for the top, 2.5 centimetres for the bottom, and then whatever length you want it to be. Okay, so I have cut my fabric and I've folded it in half. I had to unpick the hem on the edge to make sure I got enough fabric. So folding it in half, I am going to sew up this side to make it into a tube. Okay, so we have our tube now where I've gone up the side, and what we're going to do is to make the waistband. Now the waistband is going to have the elastic going through it, but the elastic is 1 inch thick. So we know that we need to have a waistband of at least 1 inch. Now you can use the elastic as a guide to fold over again and then give it a pin. Alternatively, if you don't want to do that, you can use the measuring tape to fold over, check it, fold over again, check it again, give it a pin, all the way, do this all the way around. Luckily, I've got lines I can follow. That's handy, isn't it? So do it all the way around, and then we're going to sew on this very bottom edge here. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you leave a gap here. This is on the seam. You need to leave a gap either side of about 2 inches each. So what's that? 10, about, what is 2 inches? 5 centimetres each. So that's a 10 centimetre gap in total. So you're going to leave a gap there before, without sewing, so that you can let the elastic go in and out. I'll show you. So here is the seam, and I'm not going to start there. I'm going to start about 2 inches ahead, and I'm just going to follow this line all the way along the edge until I get to the other side, and then I'm going to stop just about 2 inches before I get to the seam. I just went to go and get a safety pin, and look, as long as it took me to walk round the table, get a safety pin and come back. Oi, excuse me, is it because you want to be in the limelight? Is it? Menace. Right, stay there. What it will look like is this, and there is a little hole here, ta-da, where we're going to slot the elastic in one side. Stop it. Where we're going to slot the elastic in one side and poke it out through the other. I have my elastic, I have my trusty safety pin. Does anyone else have a favourite safety pin? I think I'm just a bit of a knob maybe for having one, but this one just, it doesn't come undone when you're in a sticky predicament. What a sad act. I managed to get the elastic through despite Lemony trying to sabotage me. One thing that you should make sure is that the elastic hasn't twisted as you've put it through the casing. It will be really easy not to twist it if you have measured it properly and if you've got just enough space for the elastic to go through. It shouldn't be too bad. So what you need to do is you need to get the two ends of the elastic. What I do is I fold it over one over the other like that, and then I zigzag up and down there. So let me pop zigzag on, and then I do it like 50 times just to make sure that it's not going to come undone. That's nothing worse, is there? You're all probably sat there going, Phili, you only have to do it once. What is wrong with you? I just like to, I like to know that it's there, So once you've done that, you then pull it all out and make it look fancy. Tuck yourself in a little bit so that it's all neat and tidy. And then you just close up that little casing gap there. Where was my line? There we go. Moving on to straight stitch. I mean, it's not imperative that it looks gorgeous, but because it's on the inside, but it's nice to line up, isn't it? And there you go, waistband, done. Just going to do my hem at the bottom really quickly. Depending on how precious you are, you can decide to measure it again. I tend to fold over double, so then I don't need to selvage edge any of it. But it's up to you. I do it by eye, so I normally start at the seam, fold it over twice, and then use the fabric to gauge it. Obviously, like I said, this is got lines on it, so it's really easy to tell, but it's up to you how you choose to do your favoured hemming stitch. And that, my friends, is how you make a gathered skirt. How easy is that? And all you need is enough fabric to wrap around yourself twice and you're done. Think of all the little offcuts that you've got from all your big projects that you can use to make a skirt and look really cute at the same time. Don't go chopping off the bottom of your curtains, because that would not be a good look. Use curtains that have no purpose anymore, like I do. Awesome, guys, thank you so much for watching. I would really love to see your skirts, so please do tag me on Instagram so that I can repost them and share them with everybody. Okay, thank you so much. See you next week. Bye. I don't know if you think you're helping or what, like if you just want attention. I'm just trying to get the elastic through. Excuse me, please.